It's on. Over here in the red. Our Zerg player from the team OGS. We have... Oh, yeah. OGS Zenio. This guy has had a lot of success. He's had some very tough opponents that he's beaten and lost to, so he has a lot to prove here today. In the opposite corner, over here.
Yeah.
Hey, she interrupted me. I wasn't even ready for that.
You know what? I'm going to write her a letter.
I'm going to write her a letter. Thank you to Pepsi and G-Skill for making this event possible. Go drink some Pepsi. Do it. Don't argue with me.
Nice little sign right there.
Well, who was that?
I'm not sure.
I did not know what that was about.
I was too busy looking at the faces. I didn't read what it said. Oh, well.
It looked like their heads were made out of trash can lids. Like Subway trash can lids. Oh, Marauder hats.
That's what it was.
Well, those Marauder hats are also made out of like Subway trash can lids. You know, the kind where you can like...
You saved yourself,
you could stick a smaller object through there.
Yeah. Sometimes that's annoying. I have to stand there for a minute, like really crunching.
Yeah, I know. What's the deal with that? Well, I guess I don't want you to put a lot of big trash in there.
And then I just go, phooey, and I throw it on the ground, and people just look at me in disgust as I walk away. All right, so we have a pool first build for Zenio, yet no gas.
Well, I think that's fine on this map.
Yeah.
I think out of all the maps you should do that on, this is probably the map.
You know,
it's like so big.
I'll go with you on that, but Byun is actually a player that does like Reapers, and Reapers can be quite nice against that.
Ooh, now that's a really good point, Artosis, because I hadn't thought about that. Byun and Lin are the two Terrans against Zerg that we see actually go Reaper like consistently.
Yeah, it looks like he's not going to go Reaper this time.
Well, the drone sees that now too with the second Marine making.
So he's going to feel quite fine against that. Now I'm wondering, because sometimes, oh no, he gets a gas. Never mind. I was going to go into this huge drawn-out thought about whether or not he might do a Spanish Wasp style build with no gas because of the influences of Team Liquid working with OGS, because we have seen things like that in the past, but not the case. So I won't go into that long, drawn-out rant about that, or that dialogue, whatever you want to call it. I guess it wouldn't really be a rant, would it? Now I'm going into one about this. I just keep talking, tasteless. Please save me from myself.
Can I have the conch?
Go ahead.
All right, we got a factory here, but no second gas. So you might check in by the barracks, or Observer hasn't done that yet, but if you could just go by there, Toast. Okay, so no reactor there yet.
No.
I was wondering if we might just get like a reactor and go get some Hellions and expand.
Very quick starport.
Interesting.
No second gas, very quick starport. One Hellion being made. Looks like it's going to be a Banshee. Just a Banshee without cloak into an expansion. That's what it looks like. Well, Spine Crawler on the way, I like. If you get your late gas, a Spine Crawler can be quite nice. Over 100 gas for Zenio at the moment. Waiting to see what he's going to actually spend that on. Okay, speed does get started. And the second gas.
Now, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a passive game for the start. I mean, if you look at the distance for these two guys, this is just it's similar to our Terran vs. Terran we just saw. They're very far apart. So, we'll have to sort of wait and see. I'm kind of surprised Byun's going for Banshees. Do you find this as weird as I do? Like,
yeah, no, it's definitely peculiar.
Is he going to get that? Oh, you know what? Move
he might
queen.
Because the queen is in the way. Oh, and he lines it up.
Sick.
Definitely meant to do that. Zenio probably should have just canceled the spine, the tumor, the spine tumor.
The spine tumor?
No, you should have canceled the tumor. You can always just remake it.
Spine tumor would be malignant. Now, no, that's something people don't do enough is actually just cancel the tumors.
Yeah.
Just do it again later. That's one of the reasons why it's good when you see people pushing out with like 4 creep tumors in a direction. If something happens, you should have time to cancel some of them.
Yeah,
and keep pushing forward.
Save a couple, man. Absolutely. Creep tumor is actually really important.
Uh-oh. This Overlord is actually seeing everything.
Yeah, that's a very good Overlord. Look at that. That Overlord, seriously, there should be a plaque in the Zerg hatchery to him.
They're going to be building statues of that Overlord on Charizara.
There should be a star on the Zerg CIA wall.
Do you think the Zerg have like a CIA? Oh, of course they do. They had to run.
Yeah. go.
Such a nub. Can't believe I even said that.
I know, man. I didn't want to call you a nub and be like, I can't believe you said that, but Tasteless, you're a nub. Why'd you say that, man?
I don't know, man. Zergling's now going past the Mako reactor, Final Fantasy VII, which we assume gives the map gravity.
Squaresoft, based upon Tasteless commentary, now sues Blizzard. Blizzard shakes its fist at Tasteless. Well, Byun trying to expand and sending around, trying to keep any other scouts out of its base. Just a few kills on the Banshee. I'm waiting to see exactly what Zenio wants to do here. I mean, he's kind of just chilling on layer tech.
Well, you notice he got those additional gases at his expansion.
Yeah.
So
I think it does throw up the Spire.
I think it's much more common to see a Zerg take a third base quickly. And I think what he's doing is he's just going to pump out a ton of mutas.
Yeah, he may do that. I would love to see Muta Ling style play. That you've seen from Zenix line. That is something that I am just waiting to see that more and more. As soon as I saw that from Zenix line, it was working so nicely. I don't know, Tasteless.
Well, it's so funny because it blew me away because it seems so obvious. It's like, well, sometimes the Banelings just run into the siege tanks, but it's like if you have more Zerglings, it's like, well, then all the Zerglings will always get to the siege tanks and Marines.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna shoot my Zerglings? Actually, thank you, because now your Marines take more damage. Thank you, siege tanks. You're on my team. No, you're not neuroparasited. You think you're on their team. You're not. You're on my team.
That's right. Spire almost finished. And we do have a few Banelings here, which are going to be used defensively. And combat shields on the way as well.
Speed Bane's on the way. Speed Bane, even if you're going for a Ling Muta, might be a smart upgrade to get, It makes you feel so much more safe, especially if you have good creep spread, which Zenio's creep spread is just kind of okay-ish at the moment.
Yeah. His creep spread's actually just a little bit behind this game.
Yeah, well, you did lose that one tumor, so...
Yep. Now here comes Byun. Ooh. This is actually a pretty good strategy, especially against what Zenio's doing.
8 mutas are on the way, though. So if he does have enough units to actually swarm these Marines and then target the dropships as those pop out, Byun could be in trouble. He does have stim.
Nice micro so far. Hasn't lost one yet. Oh.
And this could be bloody. Only a handful of mutas there, though. And does take one out with a lot of Marines left in it. Loses no mutas. Very well done by Zenio. And all of a sudden, Byun is out in the middle of nowhere with 5 Marines. But it's right next to an expand. Oh, that's nice.
Even then, though, Zerg will have enough mutas to take that out.
Yeah. At least it'll let him scout it. Am I right?
You're right.
Thanks.
If he actually scouts there.
Just going to chill, not scout there. Well, see that Viking just being totally taken out. He's trying to find the new world. Never happens, say the Columbus mutas. Well,
we have some mutas moving out now. Now, one strategy from the Zerg here is to try to take one upper expansion, one lower expansion, because it's hard for Terran to take out both, especially with any kind of push, so they have to kind of base this off harassment.
I'd love to see him actually deal with those Marines that are sitting outside his new 4th base stasis, because they're just kind of sitting there. They might actually cause a lot of damage.
You would think that they would have, he would have assumed they would have spotted the expansion, he would have tried to stop that, and instead he never bothered checking.
Yeah. A little bit of light harassment, but does lose a muta there, a little bit sloppy. Overlord's now flying around. And Byun just kind of going into standard play, which is interesting to see because Byun was so stylistic for a while. And finally, he does know about that expand Tasteless, but Lings and Banelings up here taking care of it a little bit. But they will take out some drones.
Been spotted, and this shouldn't actually... Well, this is not going to do any more damage.
No, damage is done there. Did they get the Queen, actually?
Did they?
I think they did.
I think so,
yeah. Oh, my. A little bit sloppy there by Zenio.
It's probably the only thing that Terran could have killed there that would have had any impact.
Well, at this point, we do have a lot of music. 16 drones going to be on the way. He's already at 68 against 59 SVs, so he's really going to boost his economy up quite nicely. And it's very standard, and that's, as I was saying before, from Byun, that's very surprising. He loved 3-fact into a bajillion Marines. That was like, he was doing that every game, TVZ for a while, especially on Shakuras, but
All right, now there's going to be a little bit of an element of surprise here with these Marines. These SCVs are going to have to retreat. This will cue Byun to attack over here, the expansion.
Yeah, very nice timing. Goes down. And this drop actually might do a ton of damage. 3 Banes here. Will he split? Wow, really no splitting to speak of there.
The units aren't going to get here though in time, and Zenio will lose his expansion and the drone.
Oh no! Totally sloppy there by Zenio. Oh, that is unfortunate, Tasteless. Zenio was in a very nice position until this little drop. So
now the units will clean it up, but still, I mean, it's basically a Terran on 3 base for Zergon, soon to be 4 base.
And he even lost 2 mutas cleaning that up, Tasteless. So, I mean, that drop was just worth a bajillion dollars.
What about use bajillion all the time, man?
Bajillion is a good number.
Now, we see the Siege Tanks Marines moving out now. And this is going to be pretty pivotal. I don't know if Terran has enough Marines, though. Yeah, by the time he gets to the Zerg's, expansions to keep doing this.
You know, Zenio does have that 6 o'clock main base. Some more harassment going on via mutas.
Zerg is taking 2 more extractors here. He may continue pumping out mutas heavily. We've seen people stay on 2 base for, tier 2, excuse me, basically layer tech for a really long amount of time on this map because you can just get so many mutas. You get like 30 mutas.
Yeah, you can.
And just keep killing expansions and trying to kill armies.
It's an interesting thing right here. He is upgrading Infestors, but he has 2 Evolution Chambers. He's had them for a little bit, but he only has a +1 melee attack upgrade. He has no other upgrades, none other being worked upon. So I feel like this is just something he probably overlooked. And the longer this game goes, the more bad that's going to be for him. 2-2 already on the way for Byun.
All right, Lings.
Oh, my.
Oh, hold that thought.
Catching some mutas there are the Marines. Also,
that was actually pretty huge, man. I think he got maybe 2 or 3 there.
I want to point out that a Ghost Academy is on the way for Byun. And now, if my memory strikes me correctly, when these 2 last played on this map, Byun was way behind and ended up winning because he's been using Ghosts against Zerg for a very long time, whereas most Terrans really haven't yet.
Well, this is where Byun has... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, just most Terrans haven't yet, Tasteless, but it's a great thing to do.
I was just going to say, yeah, he's a very stylistic Terran. I mean, he's somebody where if you're going against Byun, you're not just going against a Terran. You are, to some extent, really just going against Byun, the way he plays the game. This was definitely overkill with Siege mode there, and he killed the Automaton bot.
Oh, Tasteless.
That's a Tastosis bot in the middle of the map.
He killed the Tastosis bot.
Now
We're going
I
to
hope
have to
Byun
fight
loses.
him after.
Yeah, man.
2-on-1 against Byun.
Shank a nerd.
Yeah. Well, Zenio, I mean, he has a nice economy. He's got 90 drones against the 65 SCVs, but I like the Ghost play. Oh, these mutas doing a very nice job. There are 17 mutas there.
Actually, Byun has to be careful because he can park those mutas over the barracks. He already killed 1 Ghost there.
Quite true. And Byun is coming back. The mutas coming back in the same direction as well.
They're both almost maxed now. Ideally, Zerg would want to be maxed way before the Terran.
He's a little bit behind on that. But he is making some investors, is finally getting his upgrades going a little bit more, but 2-2 will be done before anything more than the +1 melee is done for the ground units of Zenio. Some Thors on the way to help against that Mutalist Horde, and looks like it is time, Tasteless, to hit one of his bases. Zenio really hasn't done a great job of expanding everywhere yet, though.
Zenio probably not going to be able to take anything out over here. He's going to be driven out with ease. Meanwhile, Byun now attacking this expansion over here. I believe it was, it's, according to our Toast screen, the expansion has been killed.
And it's an okay trade so far, but Byun is going to need to think about taking another base very soon here.
Byun is 2-2. Well, I think it's actually the 5th base that's the hardest for him to take. This expansion we just had a glimpse of there, that's where he's going to expand. After that, that's where it becomes kind of a nightmare for Terran.
Yeah, it becomes pretty hard. You're probably going to take another base similar to that, just rotating around the map, trying to control areas.
Yeah.
Well, Zenio does have some more bases going up, or at least 1 more base. Has some Infestors out. A lot of mutas still, making his Greater Spire. Where are the Ghosts of Byun? Those are going to come into play big time here now. He does have 4 Ghosts out. 4 Ghosts and 60 Marines.
Now, the Ghosts are out. So, Infestors won't have the same easy roll that they have for Zerg normally, which is a stifling and a push. You can EMP or snipe them.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, nothing dies faster than an investor. All right, here we go. An attack over here at the bottom.
Looks like drones might die faster, Tasteless, and they are, as well as this hatchery. The Zerglings clean up a few Marines there,
That's
but
another
do have to pull back.
Lost there.
And Byun is doing some great positioning with the siege tanks right now. He has quite a large...
Look at that spread.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, the ghosts are, I thought ghosts were going to move out, excuse me, and try to EMP or snipe.
Well, we do have those Marines now hitting the next space of Zenio, but they're very, very red down at 6 o'clock. Very red Marines right now.
He needs to stim one more time and to try to kill that hatch.
Most of his units actually can't
Oh,
even
here we go!
And taken out quite easily. Well,
you know, Byun is being so calculated this game with how he moves around. And I guess that attack was held off.
Byun has written Zenio's name in the death note, Terran.
He's good, man.
Terran, I called you Terran instead, Tasteless.
I was wondering about that. I was like, yeah. Well, Byun's taking a 4th base. Zenio's best strategy right now is to continue to try to hang on until this 4th base that is just now landing exhausts itself. Because after that, there's no easy expansion on this map for Terran to take.
Yeah.
Terran basically have to take expansions that are somewhat near. You know, obviously you can get a planetary fortress, but that's not as easy to defend against somebody as good as this Terran here.
Well, right now we do have some Vikings on the way to help out against the Broodlords. Zenio taking more and more bases. Getting pretty hard for Byun to move around. In fact, he's bringing in siege tanks this time. That's very interesting. Really going to siege up this base.
Excuse me, he's got to be careful because all Zerg has to do is counterattack to the 4th base.
Yeah, that's why he's making that planetary, hopefully to slow that down. The Broodlords are coming down, Tasteless. There is a Nidus in the back of this base.
There's also a possibility that he could sandwich his army with the Broodlords if they try to retreat using the Broodlords. So
now, how he uses the Ghost is going to be very, very important. There are some Infestors out there. He's also going to want to snipe Broodlords. Snipe one of the best ways. And look at that, just sniping down Broodlords. 2 of them taken out immediately. 3rd one taken out. And it looks like this base will be no more, Tasteless.
That was really impressive usage of Ghost there.
Yeah, and bam, down it goes.
Look at this guy.
Little lesson for you Terrans out there.
Yeah, hope you guys are learning. I can't believe it. You know, what's funny is the cost of a Broodlord compared to the cost of a Ghost.
It's quite a difference.
Yeah.
I hear a Nidus Worm.
Yeah, where is it?
It's just up at 12, never mind.
Defensive Nidus Worm at the top left expansion.
Throwing some drones in.
Of course, Zerg, you know, doesn't have any bases at the bottom, so it's actually pretty easy if Terran wants to push, you know, to this location if he wants to as well.
Now, I hope that Byun, in fact, he has added some more Ghosts. He continually adds some more Ghosts in there. He has some Thors to help against any Mutas. He has some Vikings as well. And this is just really smart, because as he uses up Ghost energy, if he just refills with a few more Ghosts, then he's going to be able to snipe basically everything. He's even getting personal cloaking at this point, getting 3-3, +3 on his vehicles. Sick play from Byun
EMP
so far.
there, just to make sure the Infestor didn't grab the loot of him. This is some of the best Ghost usage that I've seen in this match.
He's doing a great job here.
Well, it's showing you how Snipe can stop all the late-tier units. Infestors, Broodlords. Sieging up. Uh-oh, this might be a mistake!
Oh, the Ghosts all go down. Huge move by Zenio. And now suddenly
Byun is
he's in a terrible position. Oh my god, that medevac had all sorts of units in it. And everything going wrong. Everything going completely wrong.
This is a game where we've seen one player dominating for 5-7 minutes and that turnaround in the course of 10 seconds.
Yeah, man, that was absolutely insane. He just lost 8 Ghosts or so. Those were actually
the siege tanks and all the medevacs.
But the Ghosts are ones I'm really scared about. I mean, those were going to take out everything.
Yeah.
And now Zenio is suddenly up 25 supply, and there's no good tech units out for Byun. He has mostly Marines, just a few Ghosts popping up, but they don't have a lot of energy yet. This is looking really bad for it.
Actually, this game could end pretty quickly, Artosis.
Yeah, losing a lot of Vikings already.
He can start inching in here. We don't see any Ghosts, and certainly if we did see them, they wouldn't have snipe or enough snipes to take this out. Thors suck against Broodlords. The Broodlords stop them from moving.
Wow, and Zenio right now has to be feeling like a prince. He's absolutely doing a great job.
Wow.
Even though he will hold the planetary for now with 34 kills.
All right, a little bit up above this. We're going to have a observer take a glimpse of this where the Broodlords are. We have more units streaming down here. But look, man, I don't see actually him being able to reclaim this. There are too many Broodlords, coupled with Zerglings. These, as he's sure they can repair. If they're repairing, though, they're not mining.
But yeah, Zenio right now has 3 bases, fully saturated, doing a great job. He's still at 65 drones, despite all that's occurred. And there's just, I mean, again, if he had those ghosts, Tasteless, I would still call the game for him, but this is getting pretty hard. I mean, he does not have a lot left. He's plummeting in supply. He's not really able to take out many Broodlords. Some Vikings coming in, trying their best.
Byun is not giving up here. He's continuing to control this small army here pretty well. He is driving out the Broodlords, and actually, perhaps I was wrong. It looks like Zenio did not manage to keep enough of the Corruptors alive.
Gotta be careful, though. Here come some Infestors, and those are pretty good against Marines. Uses a fungal on those Vikings. So Byun trying to rally back with something, but, I mean, Zenio will not be denied, man. He's even taking the top natural at 12, and oh my god.
Nice.
Green slime everywhere.
You got gooped. Ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm. What was that stuff that they dropped on you in, like, Truth or Dare? Or no, Family Double
Nickelodeon Gack.
Nickelodeon Gack.
You got gacked, I think.
Got gacked,
or slimed or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we have more Infestors grouping up here. So he's not being as Broodlord intensive. I think he's saying, wait a minute, I don't know if I can keep attacking as heavily. I got to be ready to defend. I didn't see any ghosts in that army. Here comes Byun with a counter drop, knowing there aren't a ton of mutants in the map. And I take it he's just going to cancel that. Yeah, he does.
So Byun still fighting back. Ouch. But with all these functioning bases...
I don't know if he can take that expansion.
6 being taken down at the bottom even by Zenio. He needs to do something, Tasteless. He may as well take it, because there is not much else going on for him. I mean, his mining's down to a minimum right now. The mules are devastating those patches. He does not have long. Just making ghosts and Vikings.
You are correct, Artosis. If he doesn't get over there and take that base in the upper center, not top center, but the upper center, the one that would...
It would be a good staging point as well to try to attack.
Push the upper left. Yeah, I think so.
But even so, Zenio taking the bottom. He's got a lot of Infestors right now.
It's surprising to see a game where there was this complicated and this back and forth, and suddenly, because of one bad attack by the Terran.
Need a nice snipe there. That's exactly the type of thing he needs to be doing if he wants to come back and win this game. Now, he does have some ghosts. He does have cloaking. So we might see some really amazing moves, because last time that this is like reverse positions of the game that they played before in this map.
That's right.
Where Byun was actually pretty well behind, but worked back with
you know what he might do? He could goop that planetary and then attack. Well, let's see. He's taking a peek over here.
Maybe bungle up those SCVs.
We will see.
Nice fungals going off. Oh, loses some ghosts. That is a shame, Tasteless.
Well, does Zenio really want to attack here? That's the question. Or does he want to just wear the Terran out? This Terran is not a
Oh, sick fungal
on him. Oh, but the ghosts holding their own. EMP.
And losing more and more ghosts. Oh! Tasteless, so many ghost sets. You know, I think that he's being greedy. Instead of EMPing, he's trying to get the kills with snipe. Sometimes it's better to EMP and be safe. He just lost like 8 ghosts. Again, Byun is the ghost loser, man.
Is that what we call him, Artos?
He's the ghost loser, dude. I don't know, man.
All right, you're the Ghostbuster here. All right, here we go. Now, we have Bungle here.
We just have death and destruction.
This is getting
and
pretty
somehow, the Terran army lives through all that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Look, Zenio should not be doing this. Artos, let's check the patches for me.
The patches? Well, Byun is
Byun's almost mined out. There was no need to try to engage there. Byun now, in a mad dash up to this expansion, he has to, not this one, but these are the ones that the Zerg has, but he's going to expand now.
I like how Zenio's actually
there he is.
spine crawling everything right now, realizing, hey, I'm almost there.
if he actually holds on to this, the game's going to go on. If Zenio wipes this out, if he smashes this expansion, Byun's dead. He's out.
It's looking like he's gonna too, Tasteless. There's only 5 ghosts out right now. Most of them don't have much energy at all. He's been kind of greedy with the ghosts recently. We'll see how greedy he is now. Let me check infestor numbers. 3 infestors are out. So, you know, he might be able to do something with these ghosts. So might be able to hold on for a little bit longer.
He might want to even try small groups of Marines.
Yeah, well.
Taking out infestors like he's using here on these Broodlords.
Yeah, that was actually quite beautiful. That's a lot of snipes saved, Tasteless.
Yeah.
And you know, when you have a lot of snipes, Zerg needs to do something pretty special to break through you.
All right, he does have more ghosts out here. All right, here we go, more snipes.
A lot of snipes going down. Doesn't want to lose these. Pick them up, pick them up. All right.
That was really nice. There's one Broodlord with, I think, like 1 hit point. Yeah, see? So he's... Oh my God!
Oh. How did that occur? Wow. Loses 1 ghost, but still kills off a lot right there. More and more Broodlords, but never the overwhelming amount that he can't kill.
I think at this point in time, Zenio might be regretting trying to break that expansion, which is now basically mined out.
Like, yeah.
I mean, Terran can actually sit on this one base, keep dropping mules, and actually keep bumping up Marines over here.
Oh.
Nice snipe.
He is actually like a sniper with these ghosts.
He is.
I guess that's exactly how snipe was intended. To be like a sniping thing.
All right, he killed off the Broodlord, but I think there's just too many Broodlords.
Byun, I gotta hand it to him though, man. He's doing so well after getting so far behind.
We have a drop at the bottom of the map.
Oh, very nice. This is exactly the type of thing Byun needs to be doing right now, as there are some bases down here. A ton of Zerglings coming in, though. And it looks like his untargeted drop will not be able to take out the hatch. The sadness surrounds Byun at the moment.
Leave it to Grah.
Leave it to Grah.
That's what he says when he dies. Well, as you can see, that expansion mined out. This command center at Orbital at half health. I mean, basically, Byun has a snowball's chance in hell of winning this game. I gotta hand it to Byun, though. He's pretty resilient.
Yeah, he is very, very resilient. But still at 200 supply is Zenio. He's got plenty of bases. Nothing's dying. He's got this, even adding an Ultralisk Cavern and 4 more spines at the moment.
I actually understand why Zenio's doing this. I mean, he basically has the game 1, just play it safe. Byun had the game 1, and then he blew it. So,
yeah. Well,
all right, here we go.
It's just, Zenio basically is wearing him out at this point. And he will be worn out. He's doing a great job considering what he has. But eventually,
nice. He could get in here, hit these morphine units.
Oh, almost kills that. 5 hit points left on that morphing Broodlord, and then it pops out full health.
Yeah, that's a terrible feeling.
That was just his shell faceless. He molted out of it.
It's like his Broodlord snake skin. He just kind of comes out of it.
Imagine you're a butterfly and your cocoon is being attacked.
Well, I wouldn't be worried because I'm going to come out as a Broodlord.
Not a butterfly?
No, a Broodlord.
Okay.
I can't believe Byun is actually like in this game still.
Yeah.
But now he's setting up a small group of Marines.
He is. Will that be able to do anything? He does have a medevac with it, but it is out of energy. Going after that Nidus exit does kill it. All right, it looks like the non-healing medevac will not help.
Byun is like the Swiss Army knife Terran. I mean, this guy could survive in situations that I don't think I've ever seen any Terran do this in.
Oh, no!
Oh, here we go!
Bungled 4 ghosts and killed them all.
There's like one Marauder in here.
How many times is that going to happen for Byun?
Oh, no. Bad unsiege to bad siege.
And this should be it. GG. Zenio with an impressive comeback due to a few Banelings killing about 8 ghosts in the mid-game. What turned out to be the mid-game should have been more than
Byun did not die forever.
Really leveled up Tasteless. He's playing actually very, very well right now.
He shouldn't have done that one bad siege. Sometimes you see Terrans, they siege too close to the hatch.
Yeah, it happens. You know, that one part where all the Banelings hit all those ghosts, I saw them trying to run, I'm like, oh, those poor ghosts. Tasteless.
Yeah, I saw
Ghosts
that.
aren't supposed to die to banelings. They're not supposed to be up front like that.
Here's another factor here. Those guys are both going to be exhausted after that game.
That's very
that
true.
was a long, stressful game for
In
both
fact,
people.
Byun's going to have to play a TBT next. That's going to be very difficult
Going to
for him.
suck.
He's the next guy to play, man. So at least he's going to have the 2-minute break that we have in between
That's
games.
right. Can't wait to have that 2-minute break.
It's well-deserved, Tasteless. Well-deserved.
Wow, that was actually a great Terran versus Zerg. I think one of the things I want to focus on most with that was the ghost usage.
Yeah.
You can actually get a few ghosts against a small number of Broodlords, and you no longer have to stop making metapacks and stop dropping, because we know if they're making Broodlords, they're not going to be able to stop harass easily.
Yeah.
This means it's Terran you can keep harassing, and as they push forward on you, you can keep sniping them with ghosts.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, the game goes fast, man. You regain that energy so quickly. Snipe does not cost a lot.
We're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back in just a little bit here at the GSL.